Okay. Okay, perfect. Good question. So another anonymous person. So hi EA, I've had a very hard time keeping my frequency with my sleeping family. I love them a lot and want to spend time with them, but I notice it's affecting me. Any advice? I love this question because I think everyone can, yeah, everyone can really relate to this. And yeah, I think everyone can relate to this. So I have my Love Attraction event happening on February 14th. So I'm really excited about this Love Attraction event. It has a 20-page workbook. It's pretty intense, actually. So we cover people who are single and we cover people who are in relationships. So what I talk about in the Love Attraction event is being in a relationship where you're with a 3D person and you're in 5D. This is going to be the exact same teaching that I teach in the Love Attraction event that I'm going to teach right here, right now. So what happens, and I have to do it visually, what happens when we are around people who are in a lower vibrational frequency is, who's the empath in the relationship? We are. So what happens is we tend to lower our vibrational frequency to match their frequency. And we do this subconsciously. We do this naturally. We're not even aware of the fact that we're doing this. That's why we feel freaking tired every time we hang out with them. Now, family is one thing, and hopefully you guys have enough separation with family that it's not that big of an issue. Think about a romantic relationship. You're married to this person. You have kids with this person. They're around you all the time. You come home from work. They come home from work. You go from high vibe to low vibe to high vibe to low vibe constantly all throughout your day. The switching back and forth of your vibrational, they're chilling. They're in the same place. They're like, why are you tired all the time? Because you're constantly moving your energy to match them, then you're naturally going back up to your state of being, which is a higher frequency. So once again, what you will naturally subconsciously do, because you're an empath, is you will enable them by lowering your vibration, be like, let's talk about the weather. What's going on in your life? Which is fine. I always say, play the game. You can do that, okay? Don't play the game if you're not aware of lowering your frequency. You can play the game in a high vibrational frequency. So here is the technique. I don't have a name for it. Usually I have a name for things. I don't have a name for this one. Instead, it's pretty simple. Instead of lowering your vibration to enable them, to meet them at their level, maintain your high vibrational frequency. Okay. So a good example of this is, and I've been teaching this for many, many years. And when I used to have clients, I would teach, especially like, wives, especially with low vibrational husbands, I would teach them this technique. Then we would have like a session maybe a month later and check into how they were doing. It worked every time. Like literally the proof is in the pudding. Okay. But you have to maintain it. You have to keep up with it. So a great example of this is, you're cleaning in the kitchen, you got your kids roaming around, and your husband comes home from work. He's had a bad day, he's got negative vibes, he's grumpy, and instantly you feel anxious, and instantly you feel like, ooh, I got to be on eggshells because he's at such a low vibration. What happens is you turn off your music, you try and make as little noise as possible, you're tiptoeing around his energy, and you're giving your power away to him. And I just say him because husband, whatever, you're giving your power away to the people who you're lowering your vibration around. Instead, here's what I recommend. You raise your vibration, you keep your vibration where it's at. And as a matter of fact, you turn your music up. You start dancing, you start singing, you start doing something that you love around their frequency. Now, it is quantum physics that states that two vibrations of a different frequency cannot coexist in the same space. So what happens is, if you succumb to their frequency, you feel anxious, you feel nauseous, you feel nervous, and you have to separate I don't know if you've ever been at a party or at a bar and you're like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. You just vacate to the bathroom for a couple of seconds just to remove yourself from the energy. That's what we do. Okay, so instead of you moving yourself away from their energy and raising your vibration apart from them, you stay in the same space, you raise your vibration, you do something that you absolutely fucking love to do, maintain that vibration. What are they going to do? One of two things. It happens every time. Family, partners, friends, you name it, it'll happen like clockwork. Either A, they blow up. Wow, turn your music down. Why are you doing this? Blah, blah. Like literally, like anger, projection, gaslighting, because they cannot handle your frequency. It is triggering them. There's a blow up. It's the fight or flight. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Either A, there will be a blow up, which I say there's going to be a blow up no matter what. So get it over with, because after the blow up, then they can shift into your higher vibration. So either A, there's a blow up, or B, there's a fight or flight. It's always going to be one or the other. B, they move away from you. Oh, I'm going to go into my study. I'm going to go into my office. I'm going to get away from your energy because it's triggering me. Even though you're happy, you're good vibes, everything's great, you're positive, you're optimistic. Now, it's not just do this one time. It's maintain it over and over and over again. So say, for example, with your family, if your family's like really negative and they're like, oh man, this pandemic and this is life is awful. And, you know, I'm suffering financially and all these things is like going on and it's terrible. You could agree with them, lower your vibration, say, yeah, things are really bad. And like, I feel bad too. Or you can be like, you know what? Life is great for me financially. I'm doing better than I ever have. Business is great. I'm helping people every day. I'm stretching on a daily basis. I'm taking these crazy smoothies every day and it's making me feel tons of energy. What happens is there will be a blow up or they will distance themselves from you. But you are no longer changing your vibration to match theirs. Life becomes easy. You actually have way more energy more often. And eventually, you have to do this long enough. So, like these days, it could take days of you maintaining that. Sometimes it takes weeks. And honestly, sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it depends on the contact. If you're doing this with a person that you live with, it's going to, the turnaround time, the blow up, the fighting, the gaslighting, the projection, maintain. Eventually they will shift up to your frequency. If you're living with them, the turnaround time is way faster. If it's family and you see them once a month, the turnaround time could be months, it could be years. But eventually they're going to shift their vibration to match yours. Fun story with this. So which is awful, but I'm going to say it. I was like 20 something in university and I ended up landing this full-time nights job. So I was doing a full-time double major in university. I was working full-time nights and then I was doing psychic readings on the side. I mean, I don't even know how I did it, but I did. And so I would go into my shift at like, I think it was like 8 p.m. and then I would leave at 6 a.m., something like that. And then I would have class at 8 a.m. Like it was insane. So I worked at McDonald's. Like, first of all, I was doing art of like I was writing essays on the McDonaldization of society. Like I was like so against this company. And all my friends were like, this doesn't make sense. Why are you working at a job that you hate this company, you hate this organization, like you're doing art about it and how corrupt it is. And for me, like, especially doing like political science, like bring it on. Like, I want to dive into what I hate. I want to understand it better. Right. So that was the whole point. But when I got there, there was all these like lifers, right? So like they've been working at McDonald's or managers at McDonald's. They've been there for like 20 years. The vibe of the full-time nights crew was so low. Like my manager was trying to like power play me and push me around. And I came in all bubbly and happy and excited about life and whatever, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'll play your game. I'll mop the floors. I'll scrub the toilets. I'll get all the stock that you want me to. I'll do it. And I'll do it with a smile on my face because life is great. And I did that. And I maintained my vibration. And I'm telling you, it took a month. It took a month to go from this very disjointed, power struggle dynamic, low vibrational setting to we were all laughing, we had jokes, we were like we had calls coming in from customers at 2 a.m. saying, wow, like I really love your night's crew, or like the chick at the window had like really good energy, and like, you know, like people were calling in not to complain, but to actually give us like credence, you know what I mean, to give us whatever compliments. And the manager's like, I've never had anyone like call in so much to give compliments about the vibe, right? So I know it's possible. I've been there. I've been there up against 10 people who I didn't know, who were all miserable, absolutely miserable, right? So that proved so much to me. So hopefully that technique helps. And I definitely recommend that all of you come to the Love Attraction event. It's going to be amazing. And I think you're going to learn so, so much, whether you're single or you're in a relationship. This is about aligning your vibration to your human and not settling for anything less than unconditional love. All right. Okay, cool.